Hello, welcome back. Welcome to part 2 of the Beast of Gévaudan. Now I know I say watercolour and you haven't seen any watercolour yet, but here I'm showing off my brushes. These are very cheap brushes. But yeah, this next stage I will be going over the whole picture with sepia ink. What I've done, as you can see in the left corner there, I have a little circular palette with lots of little wells in it for the ink. I will put neat ink into the first one, a drop of neat ink, and then I will fill it up with water. Then I'll use a pipette and I will take one pipette full, put it into the next well, and then fill it with water, and then repeat and repeat until I have a full kind of gradient of sepia ink there to use. It just makes it easier rather than mixing it as you go. So you've got that gradient already. So here I'm just deciding to mask off the picture to keep it safe, to keep the outside safe, and in a second I will realise, here I am, I will use some paper this time because I want to protect that the border, but I don't want it to destroy the surface of the paper with masking tape. So I cover as much of the border as I can, and then just the very edge will have the masking tape on it. So yeah, I will continue to go over the whole painting with the sepia ink. I don't know why I decided to do this the first time I did it. I think I've only done it once before, but I decided to do it because I thought about the old masters, the old oil paint masters and all that kind of thing, and they always have that very similar look to them, and I wondered, because with a lot of the oil paints I know they would do a sepia underpainting, so that's what I decided to do with this one. And I did a Cthulhu painting the same way, and I liked the style. I liked how it's not as stark as using black ink. It adds some warmth to the picture, and when you do want a cold colour over the top, it just seems to give it a very vintagey look, which is what I was going for. Now if you look at the old paintings, particularly, I mean, if you look at the old paintings of the posters of the Beast of Gévaudan, you'll notice most of them are quite flat. They don't really have any an awful lot of shape or form to the animals. I mean, I just wanted to try and pick out these forms, make it my own kind of style, my way of painting mixed with an old-fashioned kind of vintagey look. But all the time I'm still trying to pick out all the forms, all the shapes, and shade them accordingly. As I said in my last video, I'm picturing the light coming from the sort of top right hand side, so that's what I'm basing it off. I have got the sketch next to me, but I really didn't do an awful lot of shading on that, so I'm kind of making up the lighting as I go along here. But it's an enjoyable part. I do enjoy doing this, but that helps with laying down the thin washes and building it up more gradually. Obviously with that leg, I knew that leg was going to be in shadow, so I knew I would make that nice and dark quite early on. But as for the rest of it, it's, you know, I build it up gradually, and then that lets me pull out the forms and yeah, push things back and pull things forward out of the picture using light and shadow. Watching my last video back, I was concerned whether or not this format is what people would like to see, whether they'd like to see as I've done it, which is the entire process sped up, but over the course of 2 to 3 videos, depending on how long the painting took me, or whether or not they would rather see one video, the complete process, but edited. So you do get the entire process in one video, but you don't get to see every single brush mark like I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, so it's a difficult difficult one to know. So if you do have an opinion on it, then let me know. Let me know if you prefer to see a different format. When I look for art videos, I do love watching people paint. I do look for the longer videos because I do enjoy watching the whole process, but you know, I might be in a minority there, so do let me know. the reason I used these cheap brushes on this is because although it is a water soluble ink, it's not as easy to remove from the brush as watercolour. It also I also worry about using my expensive brushes and spoiling them with the ink, so that's the main reason I buy these. But I do actually really like these brushes. They're very affordable. I think I get them off Amazon for about £12 for a big pack, and yeah, I've got a spare pack sat in my drawer for when these ones are finished with, but I haven't really noticed that much wear and tear on them as yet. I do also use white ink with them as well, and the white ink is permanent, so you know it definitely does affect the brushes a lot more. So it's nice to have separate cheap brushes for ink, and keep your best kind of your sable brushes or your squirrel brushes for when you're using the actual paint. Okay, so I'm just about done now with the main picture. Well, I am done, and now I'm just going to mask off the inside, and so I can use some ink on the border. I don't worry too much about smooth finishes with the ink, because it, in a way, that helps age it. That gives it that old-fashioned kind of look. So I lay it on pretty thick, and I don't mind it if it kind of cauliflowers on the paper and forms different sort of textures, because that's all kind of part of the charm of it, I think. So we're coming to the end of this video now, and yeah, this has been the sepia ink part of the process. Next video will be the final stage, which will be the watercolour. So finally, watercolour, that would be great. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, and you know, maybe you've just put it on and fallen asleep, but if it's helped you sleep, then that's great. Next video will be out soon, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe, click that notification bell, and you'll be notified when the next video comes out. And yeah, if you want to, then check the description below. There should be a link to my Etsy store where you can buy prints of my pictures, including this one. Okay, thanks a lot, take care, see you next time.